Alright, you guys, today we're going to talk about the Scarpa Summit GTXs. If you just have to get nasty, get in some really, really cold, heavy duty, heavyweight, ice climbing situations, you're pretty much looking at it minus a plastic boot. Now, for my mileage with these guys, if you are going to hike in to your situation with a decent amount of weight, carry all your gear in, get to a spot, maybe have to do some glacier travel, and then eventually pull all your gear off and do some alpine ascents with, ice climbing, I think these guys are the way to go. A plastic boot will be warmer, but I don't think you're going to get the mobility that you're going to get out of these. Now that might have changed recently with some of the new innovations, but maybe these compared to an Inverno, I think this is a better boot than an Inverno. And I own Invernos, haven't worn them a bunch, but just trying them on, I just didn't like the way they feel. These feel more like a traditional boot. Now these are way up there as far as, if you need them, you need them. If you don't need them, you don't need them. These are about a $400 boot, if you need them, they're worth the money. If you're going to be in cold situations, if you're going to be moving a lot throughout the day, I don't think you can get a better boot. Now that's through my own research, and I've had these and only really used them for one full season. The first season I ice climbed, these are what I got. And they were a dream. They're fantastic for ice climbing. I never got cold in these. I've been down to about, I think, -10 in these, and that's with some staining around. And I was pretty warm. There's enough room for your toes to move, and yeah, they're a good boot. As far as specs goes on these, they've got what's called a Costa Pro HS12. I guess is this material that it's set up with. It's got Gore-Tex Duratherm, which I believe is just a little bit of an insulated Gore-Tex in it, and then it's got a Pro Fiber midsole. As far as I know, this boot does not have a traditional shank in it, but they're stiff as they can be. I've never had any flex out of them. When I climb in them, there is no flex in the base of the boot as far as me standing on it. And it's all, the construction extremely well on this boot. The grommets on these are a certain type of metal. I would almost say they're aluminum. They're pretty. They feel aluminum to me, but I couldn't tell you for certain. This does lock in when you lace the boot up. So once you get this kind of set where you want it to and get it locked in, you can still pull the rest of the boot off. You can untie it up here and get the boot off. But these boots are extraordinary. I do love them. I think they're worth the money if you need them. If you need them, you'll know you'll need them. Because everybody will be trying to get you to buy plastic boots or something in that perspective. These are a few years old, and I've been looking around today to try and find the specs on them. Like, I don't know exactly how much they weigh. I'd have to estimate they probably weigh 2.5 pounds each. Probably about 5 pounds for the both of them. They're not light. But when you're out in the cold and you need some heavy stability and some warmth, you're going to be glad you have it. But I tried to find information on them today, and I couldn't find much information. It's a discontinued boot. I think it's just because there wasn't a high market for it. So if you're looking for something like this, I would suggest finding it. I think Moose Jaw has them right now. They are going to go away. And I think it's just a middle of the road boot. I think people either will go for a plastic boot or a heavy mountaineering boot, or a heavy leather boot like the Muckaloos that I reviewed. For me, it fit a nice niche. Hiking in and ice climbing and carrying a decent amount of weight, it filled a gray area for me. Now, hopefully will get better with the ice climbing where I will need to stand around for hours on end mid-peak, and then it might warrant plastic boots at that point. till I get there, these have served me well. They look like they're in great condition. They are in good condition, but I've beat these up quite a bit. I've used these quite a bit, and I keep them clean, and they're mostly in snow conditions, and they're covered by gaiters the entire time I wear them. So they've held up quite a. They look like they're in great shape. Look like they've never been worn, but I promise I've worn them a bunch. The abrasion resistance is really good on them, and so far I've had no problems with them. They are heavy, but in the snow it seems to help as far as traction and post holding and stuff like that. But yeah, so there you go, Summit GTXs. If you need them, you'll know you need them. If you don't think you need them or don't know that you need them, you probably don't need them. I needed them. I got them. I love them. So there you go. 68 Outdoors. Get outside and make your own food. Alright, have a good day, you guys.